As you sit with height, as you sit with your back supported, bring your hands to your heart. Today we will use a chair, a blanket, 2 blocks, and a strap. Our body and our mind. Rotate the fingertips inward. Rotate the fingertips forward. Feel what opens to you. Our thought for today, the greatest privilege of a lifetime is to be who you are. And isn't it wonderful when the way opens before you from the work that you do on your mat? Let us begin. So if you will, reach back and find some aspect of the chair to hold on to. I'm going to hold the legs that are closest to me. I could aim to hold the legs that are further away, legs along, but notice what that means for your shoulders and pull into you. Use all of the support to sit tall. If you are holding the chair in such a way that your arms can also hug in, try a little bit of that. And then give more of a release or the opportunity for a release to just open the front of the shoulders and focus on it that way. Broadening across the collarbones. Broadening across the shoulder blades. Very nice. This is a pulling action. We'll go to a pushing action. So now, if you will, give yourself the chance to bear down, plant your feet. We're going to come into this bridge position, and we're going to use it to rest the shoulder blades on the chair, to rest the head, and then to find another place to hold on to. I'm going to reach my arms and pull, and use this to lengthen the back of the neck, to notice yet another place of symmetry that we can take attention to the feet. Are they underneath the knees? Are they somewhat neutral? Notice reaching into the inner knees. Yeah? Bring your feet together to the midline of your body. And allow the chair to give you the opportunity to readjust, meaning that if you really like more of your back supported, you truly can. But take one leg long and just feel how the leg you left is underneath the midline. I'm just extending one leg, engaging the back line of one leg, and then rest that foot and take the other. If some of you have a chair that allows you to drop your head just slightly, you can wiggle there and just feel the release of having the edge right against the base of the skull, or have a very slight traction from an incline, very light incline. And then change where your arms are. Notice if what you can do is slide them to the sides of the chair and push. So your feet are pushing and your arms are pushing. Lengthen the tailbone away from your head. That doesn't necessarily mean tuck the pelvis. But the lower back has work to do. The legs are on, the glutes are on. We'll stay yet another breath. And then very slowly come down. So we woke up the back line of the body, began to give your hands that support place below you, and slide on down. We're going to turn to the side now. So I'm going to stay supported with the blanket. And I want to sit in such a way that the knee close to the chair is the bent knee. And you can use the arm in the chair to reach and catch hold any aspect. I'm going to reach slightly back and catch hold the side of the chair. We can hold the knee. This is Maharshasana. And hug the knee. And we can, in addition to that, we can catch some aspect of the chair. So we have a little bit more leverage than usual. Notice keeping your neck neutral. Feel what happens when you turn and look behind you. If you're turning to the left, turn your head more to the left. You're allowing the neck, that area of the body, to participate in the twist. And then we can involve that area even more in the twist if we turn our head and look back in the other direction. Just notice what cinches up in your body. Let the long leg reach and bear down. Lift the ribs away and release. Take the time and switch now, and notice reaching the other knee to you. And so as you begin to turn to catch it, the hand behind might be able to get to some aspect of the chair. I'm going to hold the leg of the chair that's furthest away, and I'm going to use it to press down. It'll change the angle for the wrist. It is just an option. Just an option. And to take the time and come on back, right? An opposing twist. We can simply swivel on over and do the other side. We're going to keep alternating, but using twists and folds. Okay? So the knee that is closest to the chair is the bent knee. We are going to use the arm that gets to rest, elbow in the chair somehow, and find some aspect. Every chair is going to be different. Your chair at home may be different from mine, and the length of your frame may accommodate the chair in unique ways. So find what you can use in this push-pull opportunity. Pay attention to your neck. Are you going to stay neutral? Can you spend some time looking behind? Firming the legs to the floor, lifting the ribs. And then what happens when you turn your head and you look in the opposite direction? Certain muscles cinch up in your back. You might have access to more of the back line of your body, bearing down. And then inhale and come back. Switching the bent knee, turning in the other direction when you're ready. Move with breath. This one is simple. I want to just change the pattern of what the back hand gets to do. If you can reach the back leg of the chair or swivel to get it, I'm holding the leg and I'm pressing down. So my wrist is in a more neutral position. And then the amount of rotation that becomes yours. Not that you have to go as far as you absolutely can. This is still our warm-up. Reach into the long leg. And inhale and come on back. So we're going to distance ourselves from the chair just a little bit, and we're going to use our strap. I want to come off the blanket. And I'm going to catch the strap so that it is over the far edge of the chair. If your chair doesn't allow you to do it this way, you can catch the leg of the chair. It works. So there are many ways that we could access leverage here in this pose that we know. This is revolved head to the knee pose, Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. If we can align in such a way that our foot can push into the leg of the chair, that'll give us some leverage to effect opening up on the other side. And if I can take my inside arm and use it somewhere over there, I could even reach lower, closer to the foot. I can catch hold some aspect of the leg of the chair and think about the end result. It would be to turn the palm up and turn and look up. But the arm that's furthest away really wants to reach far over and open up the side ribs. Some of you have the length in your body that would allow you to rest your head. In which case, you can give away and have a trade-off one area to another. But using the chair this way, think about the bent knee, where it's going. If it's manageable to really drop that knee and use it to open up that side without a twingy area that finds that it's too much for the knee or anywhere else for the matter. Turn your gaze upward. Keep walking the hand as far as you can. Keep both sitting bones even best you can. And use everything here to turn the rib cage any amount more. Breathe. And the prop always gives us the lesson in the pose. It helps us accommodate to where we are. And it's empowering, physically, emotionally. Nice. Inhale and come on back. Stay long in that long leg. Turn toward the chair and just use this to turn the other way. But then we really want to go the other way. I want to take the outside arm and reach behind. And when I do, I'm going to give it the far end of the strap. I want to use the inside arm, some aspect of the chair. I can rest it and push a little bit, but I'm going to use the edge of my chair just because of the length of my frame and how it lets me press away. So now both arms are helping with this rotation. You may have more of an opportunity to drop that outside knee, to lift the ribs. And some of you may have the mobility in your shoulder that allows you to keep walking that arm and maybe catch the lip of the chair. It just depends on the size of the chair relative to you. Turn your head and look over the shoulder. If your bent knee is the left knee, turn to the left. And then notice what happens if you turn your head back in the other direction and look over the other shoulder. You might feel inclined to use the arm differently. Yeah, lots of opportunities. Very nice, everyone. And release. We'll swivel on over and do the other side. So as I adjust, my sitting pattern, that long leg is, it's not 90 degrees by any means, and I'm focusing on knees away from each other. The outside arm is going to catch hold as high as possible. It'll get there as we get there. And the inside arm can find some aspect of the chair. If you get to such a place that you can rest your head, if what you really need is to add your blanket to accommodate the length of you, please do that. But notice sitting bones. Drop the outside sitting bone. Use that to open up the side ribs. Lift the elbow. Turn your gaze upward with your entire body, upper body. Breathe. You may find that the strap shortchanges you. If you have the length and the mobility to catch the chair, to keep reaching back and catching the far back side of the chair, all of those possibilities. And then inhale and slowly work your way back. Nice. Catch hold, the chair, seat, sit tall, use your legs well, be aware of where your bent knee is, yeah? And then we're going to pass the strap to the outside arm from behind. And we can begin to use the chair for the opposing twist. The idea is to lift the sternum, to lift the heart. If your bent knee is the right knee, turn your head to the right. Use both arms well to help you lift and to turn. And then keep checking out opportunities to shift and change. Shape shifting in yoga today. Turn your head, look over the other shoulder. Broadening across the collarbones, across the shoulder blades. All right, wonderful. So now we're going to keep the strap at the back of the chair. It's not really in our way. We'll use the blanket in front of the chair. It might be kind on the shins and the knees. I'm going to fold mine and let my ankles come off the edge. But we'll also use our block, and we're making it a point to open the shoulders. My hands are holding the block this way, and my elbows will rest in the seat of the chair. It'll be kinder to start with no block, hands together, right here. You'll find that your arms might drop, in which case you can keep pointing the fingertips toward the ceiling. As you open up the block to put space between your hands, you can explore making the block wide. And as you back off to put the chair and the blanket in just the right place that allows you to come to this fold, the elbows rest on the surface of the chair. Yep. And we're aiming the forehead there. If your forehead does not comfortably rest at the edge of the chair, then please hold the weight of your head up. Notice if what you have is another blanket to park in there. Keep reaching the elbows forward, the outer elbows forward. The shins press back, the tailbone lengthens away. This is in nowhere near cat. It is closer to cow, but we don't want to hang, so we want to lift those lower ribs. Reaching the crown of the head away. This is a wonderful headstand practice. Helps to undo any of the tightness in the upper back. Think about what happens in settling patterns like kyphosis. Reaching the outer elbows away. Reaching the sitting bones back. We'll stay 2 more breaths. Legs are on. Feel the ribcage expand, breathing into the back body. Nice. All right, inhale, lift the head. We'll come back not with a headstand, but more with a handstand practice later. So as you make your way up, adjust the block out from underneath you. And I'm going to adjust my chair so that I put all 4 legs of the chair on my mat. I'd like for you to use the length of your mat. I have on my sticky socks, so that gives me a chance to have the mat on my feet. But we want to stand with a little bit of distance from the chair. And we'll use the transition opportunity to do something very simple, to come and load the arms and be in plank. Nice. And then we'll make it a point to bend in the elbows just a little bit, move the chest forward, come into an upward facing dog, give our shoulders something that is slightly opposite, still reach the tailbone away, inner thighs up toward the ceiling. And coming back with a downward facing dog. So we're using that shoulder opening that we just worked on so carefully to reach the sitting bones away, to feel the length through the outer shoulders. Imagine that the way opens from the work that you do on your mat. What opens to you? We'll come back here, but for now, if you'll lift your gaze and look ahead, and take one leg back behind you, turn the leg out, stack the pelvis, just feel the opportunity to create some space. As you begin to rotate the leg inward, find if what you can do is swing that foot up into the seat of the chair. And if that is not possible, then stand up, step to it, step back, find what you can do. I want to reach forward and catch hold and just use that to open the front body. Use this place of stability to lift the back heel and wiggle the back leg any amount. If you don't like being at your toes, slide the back leg forward and anchor the foot well. The forelegs of the chair on the mat. Take the arms wide. Come upright. Take the arms palms up. And take the arms high. Nice. There's a lot going on here. Take the arms wide. Palms down, come back into your fold. We're going to make an adjustment and we're going to come back up again. So now that you gave your body the chance to open in that space, if you will anchor the back foot, what I am going to do is slide my back foot just slightly forward and turn it out. And I'm going to make it a point to perhaps not walk the tightrope. You can if you wish. Send the arms forward and up and come on up. And we're going to do something very simple with the back heel anchored purposefully. We're going to bend in the knee and really come into this lunge and then press away. I want you to try this with arms in different positions. So as you come and go, you will find that we just tease a little bit more tightness out of all of the soft tissue in the front of the body. Lengthening the tailbone down is still important. Lifting the sternum is the opposing action. And then we will repeat with a slightly different job for the front leg. Come into your fold, put your hands into the chair, step back, come into your downward facing dog. Plank might give it to you more specifically just for you. And begin to bend in one knee and then the other, walking that dog, just feeling how you can use your feet to keep asking for an opening through the outer shoulders. Neck is neutral. All right, other leg travels, up and back, turn the hip out, reach out into the inner heel of both legs actually. And as you exhale and swing through, take your time, notice bringing the foot to the seat of the chair, bending in the front knee, catching the far end of the chair, find it as you wish. Long neck. You can push, you can pull. Use this position to adjust the back foot. I am lifting the back heel, wiggling the back foot well back. And then here we go, arms are wide, and we're just challenging the back leg, the back ankle, the back calf. Turn the palms up. Take the arms high. We're calling on the deep hip flexors for their strength at their length. Take the arms wide. Come on in. Take your time and make it a point to use the stability to adjust the back leg. I'm walking my front foot slightly to the side, and I'm sliding my back foot in so I can anchor it and feel comfortable where my standing foot is, yeah? And so take the arms ahead and come on up into your warrior one. Begin to push away and bend the knee. Lengthening the tailbone down, lengthening the back of the neck up. Wrapping the shoulder blades to the periphery of the rib cage. All those ways that we create space and awareness in the body. Arms can go wide, they can go behind you. Keep lifting through the front. Reaching into the inner back heel. Notice what your front foot is doing. We're going to come back and change it. Put your hands at the chair. Here comes that plank and that downward facing dog. So whether your feet are together or slightly apart, if you will, keep one hand at the seat of the chair and take the other arm to the opposite foot. Just find your way there. Keep using both arms best you can. If your heels make it to the floor, reach the inner heels to the floor. Move the inner thighs back. Very nice. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale to the other side. And again, back to center. So this next part we can do from the same position, meaning we can bring the first leg into the seat of the chair. And I want you to give the sole of the foot more of a different job. So come upright, make your adjustment, and just notice coming in. That what we were doing before was leaning in, and that's okay, that's great. You're gonna push away in the similar way. But now, if you will, from this distance, can the sole of the foot pull? That means the hamstrings are gonna pull you in. And then you push away, and that changes what opens through the other hip because of how the front foot pulls you in. Okay? You can imagine our handstand practice. Here comes this great warrior one. Keep lifting the ribs, keep lifting the shoulder blade toward the fingertips. So we want to remember that set of actions when we go upside down, that we wouldn't do that there. We wouldn't pull the shoulder blades away from the fingertips. They go along with. Let's do this one more time. All the soft tissue talks to each other in the body. And step down and switch. Notice if you can step from the very same place, right? The same distance from the chair, treating each side similarly, building balance in the body. Exactly. So notice the habit and then talk yourself into, hey, the front foot is gonna pull me into here. Exactly. We're not hanging anywhere. The cinching up pattern doesn't let us. If you want a few repetitions of arms high, lifting the shoulder blades, upper back is broad and lifted. We'll try that one more time. And we'll stay up, we'll stay with standing poses. Here we go. So I'm gonna keep my chair turned sideways on my mat. That's the way it is right now. And I'm gonna stand behind it. So I'd like you to consider that place. And I want to use more length. We're gonna do revolved side angle pose. So I'll move the chair slightly ahead and have that space on the mat back behind. Right? In stepping, so if the back of my chair is on the left, that means I'm gonna step the left leg forward, right leg back, come into this fold. We know that we're rotating. And I'd like for us to consider coming to where the forearm gets to rest across the chair. That means we might not be going terribly low compared to where we typically go, aiming a little bit lower sometimes. But it does mean that we can get long. So take the back leg well back. Decide about using this chair in such a way that it doesn't tip towards you. And we'll start simply, I'm using the top arm at the back of the chair and I'm pushing into it to allow myself this rotation. What I get out of here is this understanding that the tendency is to swing the hip out to the side, and the control keeps me from doing it. All right. We'll come back here, we'll add on. Notice turning your gaze and looking slightly up. You can look slightly up and back, reach the crown of the head forward, tailbone away, all well and good. As you come unwinding, we'll try something very simple. We'll step the front leg slightly back, step the back leg to the front leg, take a pause, come into this powerful pose. It is a nice reset. And we're gonna load the other leg to do half moon. That means I want to put my hands similarly, but the other arm stays long. And as I straighten up with this hip hinge, the inside leg goes back behind. I get to rotate toward the chair. I can come back to using the elbow, forearm into the chair, and to play with how I want to use the chair here. So we're just making it a point not to overdo in any one place as we want to revisit and ask for a little bit more. Right? Great place to be. If what you find is that you can play with that back leg, you can bend in the top knee, take that leg foot behind you, and notice the back bending opportunity to take your head back, that's right. Because you have control to explore with reassurance that you are in charge of you. All right, take the time, come into warrior three, come rotating out of it, look down, and then look ahead. Put both hands into the seat of the chair and use the opposite hand to the back leg to just reach. Staying long through your torso, drop the back leg, come return to this powerful pose seat. I want us to come all the way up and give our head a break. Very nice. And we're going to step back. We're going to revisit revolved side angle pose, but instead this time, we're going to use the length of the chair. So I'm with the same side leg as the back of the chair. As I come in, I'm going to be able to catch hold really close to me. And then the arm goes away, so I can use that to look under. And what that looks like to the folks on the screen is that from the side, I distance myself from the chair so that I can use the far end to catch hold. I'm trying to simulate this reach. If you want to let go of the chair, you sure can, but I'm trying to really drop open, catch the chair and turn. My left leg is the front leg. I'm turning toward the left. My right arm is in the seat of the chair. The left arm is catching as far as I can, the back corner of the back of the chair. And it gives me a little bit of control. Sometimes what we do mistakenly is to just sink into the bottom shoulder. So I'm saying that to remind myself as well. If your chair gives you a chance to come and use some lower rungs, you can take the arms, the bottom hand, and find a different place to pull from or to add leverage. Yes. Beautiful. Excellent. So this time we're going to just unwind with half moon, with a more traditional way of putting the hand in the seat of the chair. But here comes sort of the fun. If I keep the same leg anchored and I began to go to my half moon, what I can do is give myself the strap to the outside arm, and then I have a little bit of interesting control. Some of you might find that you can make it to catch some aspect of the chair. If the back of your chair is accessible, you can rest your head there, and you can bend in the top knee and pull the leg back. Even just bringing the foot back is inviting the aspect of turning on, cinching up those back bending muscles, the extension muscles. All right, same transition as you drop the strap, as you straighten the leg, as you rotate back into hips square with the floor. But our recalibration is to bring the nose to the knee toward the nose, and to cinch up the front body since the back body was on. Plant that foot, come and sit, come and stand, and we need to balance and do all of that on the other side, okay? So we are trying to take advantage of where we left the strap, and we're gonna use it for one more thing as well. So let's keep it there. Here we are, turning the chair around, finding opportunity. At first, I want to step the same side leg forward. Other leg goes well back. I can rest the outside arm in the seat of the chair and come across. I can use the other hand to help me rotate. The head stays centered with the body, so does the pelvis. And I know I want to go away with my head and out with my hip, but I'm working on it too. So just feel where you are. Wiggle the back leg well back. Notice how the chair is helping you warm up to what your body knows and can know of yourself in this pose. And just breathe. We cinch up certain muscles, then they're willing to help us by lengthening. Inhale and come unwinding. Step your front foot just slightly back. Find coming into your half moon. I want to turn and rotate. You can come and rest the arm across the chair. You can take the top arm up. Can bend in that top knee and take the head back. I'm gonna keep my hands in the chair. You could even catch the strap from behind, all of that, but we'll do that next time for sure. Yes. As you make your way back, moving with breath, as you rotate and square the pelvis, use taking the arm opposite the leg to a great reach. I went out of turn, didn't I? That means we're going to do a little extra on this side. Here we go. Come and sit in your powerful pose. That's why that didn't feel right. And nobody said, Mona, you're not in the right place. Here we go. So now as we straighten up, our half moon is toward the chair. So I'm going to lift the other leg. Shows me how strong you are. Rotate toward the chair, slide the outside arm across, stack the pelvis, reach into both heels, and then use this push-pull to bend in the back knee. Now we've got the same action going on over here. Very nice. A little bit feels like a lot. All of these cues are optional. Let's stay one more breath. And as you begin to unwind, as you begin to rotate back, we'll drop that back leg. And we'll step slightly away, and let's repeat that, that opportunity to go into warrior three. The inside leg is going to stay anchored. The outside leg is going to go back. And you can use the chair, yeah? The hand opposite that leg can reach. Lowering the leg, lifting the arms, coming to stand, opening the front body, giving your head a break. Good job, everyone. We want to distance ourselves from the chair so that we can create more length through the side body. So I want to step the inside leg forward. And as I get there and this hip hinge, I'm closer to the edge of the chair, closest to me. I want to save as much length of the far back of the chair so I can reach ahead and use that to turn. So as you start to get there, there's a trade-off. We're not going lower to do more. We're staying higher to get more length. And where I want you to work on that is to focus on where your pelvis is staying, how far the back leg gets to go, how you're using both arms, and how the top arm helps you to really open up the side body. Nice. Let's stay one more breath. So now we will work all of those poses strung together from the same leg. Now we're going to slowly come unwinding. And as we do, we can rotate the other way. I can lift the leg, turn out, and perhaps catch hold the strap back behind. If I were to take it in the back hand, it gives me an opportunity to use the back of the chair a little differently. I can possibly rest my head and use that for the stability. I can stack the pelvis, maybe with a little bit more control. Bend in the back knee and feel how the body responds from just that cue. You are welcome to make this your own. On occasion, folks will still hold the strap and reach the arm toward the ceiling using that. Lots of ways to make this yours. As you are ready to return, rotate toward the chair. Lift the arm that's opposite the back leg. Lift your gaze, reach into both inner heels. Notice that we've loaded that leg 3 different ways. And then take the time and drop the leg. Come into that powerful pose reset. Reach the sitting bones well back. And now we've evened it up. Very nice. All right, we're gonna take the time and use the strap for the shoulders more specifically. And so I'm gonna show from a side position. We'll do something very simple as we sit in the chair. We'll sit at the front end and we'll take the arms overhead. Think about what happens in that handstand practice. We hug the elbows in and reach them up similar to where we had been with our elbows in the seat of the chair. Where we can tend to overdo here is to let the lower back just take up the brunt of it. So draw the lower ribs in, lift the lower abdominals, lift the rib cage in general. We're going to leave one hand where it is and take the other one to anchor in the chair. And we could very easily walk the top hand further. We want to work in that direction, but we're going to leave the top hand not going as far as it could have. Instead, we're going to lean in, not changing where the hand is at the strap, and then pulling to come back upright. And every time you lean in, the elbow relative to the ear changes its position. And it keeps telling the body, you know, we do have permission to go to this amount of opening. Here we get it with this light tension through the range. So we're not, hopefully not hanging anywhere. I want to lean in, reach the elbow away, use the back hand to save the lower back, and then switch. So I want to keep a little bit of laxity that gives me permission to lean in and notice the range that that shoulder girdle is able to manage. What we're trying to do is leave the lower back out of it. So if this hinging from the hips responds to an adjustment through the shoulder, then we're not moving from the lower back, right? One more time. Each side is different. So now we can put that down. It's not really in our way. And we're ready to go the other way. What I want you to consider is if you're going to come into a handstand practice, we're going to put our hands down, we're going to put our feet in the chair, that you have all 4 legs of the chair on the mat. Some of you will feel better about having your chair against the wall. So if you'd like to go to the wall and park your chair, you might not necessarily need your mat. Okay. And we'll take on some different options. So option number 1, if you like bearing into your hands and just loading your upper body without having to go anywhere big, start with the blocks. Put your hands in, let your fingers roll off the edge, keep long through the neck, Spend a little bit of time resisting the arms to the inner knee. There are lots of choices. We're just going to work our way down. I could decide to lift the front of my feet and cinch up the core and just remind my body, hey, I could pick up the feet possibly from this slightly higher position, or one leg and then the other, and then set that down. So this drawing in through the front body is where we're headed. We can take one block away and work our way down, changing the angle of the hip hinge, of the arm resisting, of all the ways that we're adding light strength. Long neck, our gaze is slightly ahead. But then we can do away with the block or blocks. So come up and give your head a break as you need. But if you can make it toward the floor and push, this is enough all by itself. Outer shoulder lengthens, you're sending your sitting bones away, bearing into the floor. Notice your hands spread as wide as possible. You can keep that. You can bring your thumb a little bit closer and pull your fingers toward each other to just activate the wrist, the palm, and the kickstand fingers. Take a break as you need. Let's all together do that right now. Park your elbows, look ahead, give your head a break, shifting blood volume. So you'll want to come, if you're going to come to using the chair, you're going to want to come out just a little bit and begin to notice that coming to your chair, parking one foot in and then the other, and gingerly finding, oh, you know, I'm trying to send my head back. So get your bearings. Notice how it would be easy to push back and tip the chair. And that means you're really relying on the upper body, not your legs so much. If you're ready in this half of a fold to take one leg toward the ceiling, this is your opportunity. But how you're having to hold the chair, if you do not have the wall behind you, just means that you're going to really use your proprioception from the rebound energy that you feel. All right, and then take your time and work your way down. Welcome to Ignore Me, stay longer, repeat, take a break. Very nice. Beautiful. We'll come to the front edge of the chair. And we'll bring one arm across. The fingers are in charge of this place. We'll take the other arm behind and we'll catch hold the higher end. And just make sure that in case we were overdoing or cinching up too much, that we give ourselves an opportunity to undo, to have traction, to really use this chair. So long neck, reaching the crown of the head away, sending the sitting bones back, allowing the fingers to hang on and the shoulder to relax. Inhale, come on up and switch. The fingers of the arm below are in charge of this place. If you can hold higher along your chair, that would be more in your favor. Stay in your back body. It's easy to lean your head in. Just notice that tendency. And then inhale and come on back. So we're going to work our way back down to the floor. We're going to do some bridging work, some figure 4 work, and then we'll do legs in the chair. We won't do anything fancy. I just want you to slide on in and make some adjustments. So your adjustment would be to make sure that you can rest your head on your mat. You can, so if I'm going to go this way, the floor is really kind here, but I want you to use the length of your mat. You'll want to have the legs of the chair on the mat so the chair is not going to slip as you come into your bridging actions. And I'm going to leave at least 2 legs of the chair on my mat. I'm going to give myself the chance to have something softer since I came off my mat by just putting the blanket here, but we'll use it more specifically shortly. I want the heels to make it to the seat of the chair. So as you come down and as you roll over, Notice your proximity to parking the knees here. And we want to take advantage of gravity, not just of the chair. At first, if you will, lift into a shoulder stand prep. We're not traveling high into this. The whole point is to leverage that figure 4. So I want to cross the right ankle at the left knee and then slowly come on down. Notice the proximity of the chair. I'm holding the legs of the chair. And from this distance for me, for the stiffness of my right hip, I don't get to quite make it to the floor, and I want that purposefully. I want to feel as if I am using gravity to help me get there. And that the position of not quite getting there gives me the chance to build time to let the weight of my bones, the heaviness of my body work with gravity to invite a little bit more release. If you have the stability to let go the chair without overusing your hamstrings, then do that. We'll stay 2 more breaths. Notice how your body relaxes. Use your breath to help you. Give permission to give away the tension. Settle in. So unlike my setup, if you happen to be against the wall, I'm just giving you ideas for your continued home practice. Then you would be counting on the chair with the bottom foot, and you could take the same side arm and press the bent knee away, adding more value to the outer hip release, just saying. Place the foot back in the seat of the chair, come back, tuck the shoulders under, enjoy this shoulder stand preparation. We're not using it formally right now because we didn't set up for it. And then other ankle at the knee and settling in just to notice. I know right away as I'm undoing my shoulders a little bit that this is my tighter side. So I have a little bit more distance between my back body and the floor. And here the heaviness and gravity count. The leg in the chair is your control. Mind on the body is holding the control, holding the reins. Keep using your breath. So notice I've kept us here for just a few breaths, but you could most certainly build more time here. So we used a bridging action that took us to what reminded us of shoulder stand preparation and a figure 4 to get this great outer hip stretch. So if you'll undo, come to symmetry, and then settle in. Take a minute to pause and rest the legs across the seat of the chair and just notice where you are. Notice if what you really need is to use your blanket in the seat of the chair or underneath the pelvis. You can roll to the side and carefully make those adjustments. Notice if you are happy with the setup and can take the strap and bind the legs if that is your choice. So if you are using your strap, I would suggest binding really close to the fold of the hip. And then wrapping the tail of the strap as far around the legs as possible. Aiming for that 90-degree angle in the knees and the hips keeps it really kind on the lower back especially. But the strap adds value to the quieting of the back body. The inner thighs turn off and the sacral spine turns off. And then the mind can quiet as well. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. From the beginning of the hour, the greatest privilege of a lifetime is the opportunity to be who you are. Keep reminding yourself that as you come home to your body and your breath, and finding the way that opens from the work that you do on your mat. Bring your knees to you and begin to undo. And then roll to one side. Press up and sit. May this practice have a great positive effect into your next day. Namaste.